There were a number of people who didn't have the Spline IK handles working, so I wanted to show you guys how to set that up. So first I'm going to just hide the surfaces to get them out of the way, and the polygons as well. And there's this existing handle there, but what it needs is a curve, and this one did not come with a curve. So I'm just going to make it again. We can copy the name just to name it the same thing. I'll just delete this one. So then I'm going to go to Skeleton IK Spline Handle Tool Options, and I want to make sure, let's just reset these. Yeah, I guess this is the default, it looks like. So we definitely want Auto Create Curve turned on. So I'm going to pick the root of the curve, which is going to be that bottom joint of the spine just above the root of the whole character, and then the top of the spine is the IK handle location. And what it's done is it's auto-created a curve along the spine. And the point of that is that, let's select that curve. It's a little hard to select over the joints, but one way to do it is in the pick mask here, turn all objects off and then turn curves on to easily select the curve and not the joints. Because otherwise, if I selected there, it would pick the joints if joints were turned on. And then I'm going to right mouse click and go to control vertex, and I can see these control vertices, and if I move them, it gives me some control over the shape of the spine. However, it's not easy to pick and keyframe a control vertex, so we're going to make clusters and then make cluster handles to make those to make selection handles to make those clusters easy to select. A cluster is a way to create a transform node for a point or group of points. You'll notice that this CV does not have any of the transform options in here, but the cluster will kind of create a transform node and make all the points that are members of that cluster move with it. So under Create Deformers, you have cluster. Check the options here. And this is very important to make sure we check relative, meaning that the point will move relative to the position of the rest of the object. If you don't check relative when you create this, you can still turn it on afterwards in the attribute editor, but if it's not relative, it messes up the rig. The spine will, what they call, double transform. It'll like bend all out of shape, out of control. So this needs to be relative. And like I said, if you forget, I'm just going to hit Control A for attribute editor. I can do it after the fact. I can turn it on later. Just checking it right there in the attribute editor. Okay. And let's just repeat that. So we'll select the curve, right mouse click, control vertex, pick this CV, and once again, create deformers cluster. So we have our cluster handles, and we want to make sure that they move with the character, because right now if I move the character, you'll see those cluster handles get left behind. They still work. Let's turn all our stuff back on here. So it works, but it doesn't move with it, and that makes it difficult to select to control. So now we're going to make selection handles, and it's sort of a odd little process, but the selection handle is sort of seen as a component of an object. So first we'll go display. I think maybe we can do both of these at the same time. Let's give it a shot. Display, object display, transform display, selection handles. Yes, it did both at the same time. Now, you see those little pluses next to those. Now we'll go to the component mode, make sure selection handles is turned on right here, and we can select these, move them back behind the spine. And I don't think I ever parented to that. I sort of missed that step, right? They're not moving with this still. Whoops, let's go back to object mode. Right. So I didn't parent them. I do need to parent them, so I'm going to parent them to the root. So select the two cluster handles, shift select the root joint, P for parent. Okay, let's test it out. So I can move the whole character. I can move these. They work. Great. Let's see what happens when I turn it. Good. How about if I just turn the root? Okay, that's looking good. Now there's one other thing left to do, which is that there's this extra attribute added here called back twist to the root, which is intended to give you control to twist the back in a convenient location. And you'll see that it's not working. I'm changing that number now there by middle mouse dragging the scene, and it's not affecting anything. So let's hook that up. We'll select that root control handle there. Window, General Editors, Connection Editor. Scrolling down to the bottom is where the custom attributes are. That's a custom created attribute. Back twist. This is the output. So the number output from there will input into whatever I put in here. So I'll select this IK handle, the thing we just created. Reload right. That'll load that and its attributes into the inputs. And scroll to the, well, maybe not quite the bottom. Yeah. Twist. And you see when it goes italic like that, it means it's connected. And you notice that turns yellow as well. So we'll close that. And now click there, click on back to us, middle mouse drag. We see that is now working. And basically whatever number's in here will be the number in there. That's it. And if you want now, you should be able to hide your IK handles. You know, you can do show IK handles from here. You don't need to see those. They're just something often if people accidentally select them, especially on the feed, it kind of messes stuff up. So that is how to do the Spline IK rig.